Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, broadcasting on Channels Television live from Lagos. Let's now bring you some of the pictures you sent into our eyewitness portal. We begin with this one from Atu Street, Indidem Usang Iso Road in Calabar, Cross River State, showing an abandoned refuse dump by the road. Our eyewitness reporter is asking concerned authorities to evacuate the refuse. Followed by this one from Oluwatobiloba Street, Alagbado in Lagos State, showing a gutter blocked with refuse. Our eyewitness reporter is warning residents against this dirty habit. We also have this one from Bodo Road, Rupoku in Port Harcourt, River State, showing a tricycle driver trying to wade through a flooded road. Our eyewitness reporter is asking the government to fix the bad road. Next is this picture from Ilasa Apapa Skoda Expressway, showing a falling truck. Our eyewitness reporter says there is a bad portion of the road that trips off vehicles and is asking the government to do something about it. Finally is this one from Oluwalogbon Street, K2 in Lagos State, showing a man attempting to jump over an iron barrier. Our eyewitness reporter wants the government to discourage pedestrians from this dangerous act. Well, thank you for sending in those pictures and urge you to keep them coming. The Independent National Electoral Commission has declared the Ife State Constituency by-election in Osun State as inconclusive. This is due to the breakout of violence and disruption of counting process that occurred in 2 polling units. The electoral body says the elections at the 2 affected polling booths will hold on Sunday.
Like most elections in recent times in Nigeria, expectations were high before Saturday's by-election in Ife Central Local Government Area of Osun State to produce a representative of the Ife Central State constituency in the State House of Assembly. The accreditation and voting exercises got underway peacefully as early as 8 a.m. but witnessed low turnout of voters.
The election has been calm and the law enforcement agents they are doing their work. Only in some cases the card reader failed to identify some people's fingers. So some minor issues which I believe INEC will improve upon.
The electorates are very low. They don't come out.
The exercise went on simultaneously in 168 polling units across the 11 wards, and the peace that reigned was soon disrupted when counting of votes started. Some hoodlums were said to have disrupted the exercise at gunpoint, carting away ballot boxes and voiding some of the ballot papers at Unit 11, Ward 3, Ilare, and Unit 3, Ward 11, Mori.
Immediately we finish our election, we are waiting for counting. Along the line, some people are just coming with gun and shoot here.
We're caught unaware. That is just the bitter truth. We're asked to cover our eyes down. So that's what we can just say for now. But normally we had gunshots.
Calm then returned when security personnel arrived to the scene. Seven suspects were arrested and taken to the State Criminal Investigation Department in Osogbo, the Osun State capital. About 63,393 votes are up for grabs as collation is ongoing at the collation centers.
Before we continue with our election update in other parts of the country, quickly here, apologies for that wrong visual of on our eyewitness portal. Actually, that's the last picture there. It's a scene from the Warri-Asaba Highway showing a vehicle after an accident occurred, which our eyewitness reporter says the driver should exercise more caution whenever they are on the road. Now, agents of some political parties participating in the area council elections in Abuja have commended the Independent Electoral Commission for distributing election materials on time. Agents of the People's Democratic Party and the All Progressives Congress who spoke to Channels Television at the distribution center in Karu say the exercise is an improvement over all previous elections. In the meantime, a representative of INEC says late arrival of security officials to the distribution venue was the initial challenge they had.
This collation center in Karu is also used by INEC as the material and personnel distribution center for Karu and Abuja Municipal Area Council. Officials started leaving for their polling units with voting materials as early as 7:25 a.m. According to some party agents who were on ground to monitor the distribution of these materials, the exercise is an improvement over what happened during previous elections.
There is improvement. Very, very, very well. Because formerly, if we're distributing the materials, you see crowd. But now, it's not as in that way. The materials go to the polling units the way it's supposed to go. There's no crowd, no noise. I think it's okay.
As early as 5:30, the INEC official, the coppers, and the police were all here. So that's what happened this morning, and the distribution took place accordingly. So that's what took place this morning. Seriously, the experience on this concerning this election, this area council's election, is a different. In fact, it's a new dawn in the INEC conducting election process.
Meanwhile, an official of the FCT Independent Electoral Commission says late arrival of security officials almost delayed the distribution exercise.
So you can see there are no personnel on ground. They actually collected their materials early this morning, arranged their things, and before 6:30 they were all ready. But the little challenge we had was about the police, the security, but we called the DPO and there was a quick response. His men, they came here and, started joining the vehicles to the various polling units for security reasons.
She also assures that the Commission has deployed enough personnel to handle the conduct of the election in Karu Area Council.
For Karu, we're having about 17 polling units, you understand, and we have about 379 staff strength or personnel, being allocated to the various polling units.
6 area councils, namely Karu, Abuja Municipal Area Council, AMAC, Gwagwalada, Kuje, Buari, and Kwali are participating in the exercise, expected to elect chairmen and councillors into the area councils.
Staying with the FCT polls, and our crew also visited the suburbs where low turnout of voters was also recorded. Many of the voters told Channels Television that voting started as early as 7:45 a.m. amidst tight security by men and officers of the Nigeria Police Force and other security agencies.
This is the situation we caught up with at the nation's capital city. As early as 7 a.m., accreditation and voting commenced. Amidst tight security at most of the centers, voters are glad that the process has been less cumbersome, hoping for similar conduct in future elections.
By 7 o'clock, everything is ready, and I've casted my vote, and other people as well are casting their votes. And I and my colleagues, we are happy the way everything is going. No cause of commotion.
I not even waste time here. The election, there is no more population like that. They are doing things according to these things. So they are not keeping people here. Once you come and do your vote and go.
From the city center, we move to one of the suburbs of the Federal Capital Territory, Dutse Alaji. The turnout here is impressive as accreditation and voting started early. We spoke to some of the voters and this is what they have to say.
When I came here this morning around 9, everything is going smooth. When you credit, this one is not something delayed. When you credit, you vote.
The security, the way I'm seeing them, they're trying their best because they are watching everybody very, very well.
Security is also top priority here as men of the Nigerian police force can be seen maintaining law and order. The Commissioner of Police, who is overseeing the FCT elections, gives an assessment of the security situation.
We have been going around since morning with all of us, and security and intelligence reports from all area commanders, DPOs, the striking units, the intelligence units, and others indicates that polling has been going on quite smoothly. There has been no serious incident reported from everybody throughout the FCT. So the situation remains very calm so far.
One thing voters are happy about, though, is the fact that the process is not as stressful as what characterized previous elections in the Federal Capital Territory.
Voters in the Federal Capital Territory, as you're already aware, today trooped out in 6 local government areas of the FCT. Reports say that the turnout was a bit better from the previous elections, while voters' apathy was noticeable in some areas. Joining us Sunday News at 10 is Mr. Obo Efanga, election observer with Action Aid Nigeria. Thank you, Mr. Efanga, for joining us this evening. Well, this morning, a number of voters we are seeing standing in for hours waiting for electoral officials to rectify card readers' problem, which has delayed voting. Tell us your assessment of this, because so many Nigerians thought by now would have been able to get you used to the card reader in this election.
Okay, I must say that the election in FCT this time was largely peaceful. We recorded that the polling centers opened early enough, and then the introduction of the new voting process where you can be accredited and you vote immediately and go has also helped. So we in the centers we went around, we saw people came in and voted peacefully. There weren't much of incidents in those places. And also the incident of difficulties we've had in recent past with the card reader, we didn't seem to record significant number of such incidents in the elections in the FCT today.
Knowing full well that we've seen a couple of elections in the state, in Nigeria, marred by violence, and this one coming as peaceful as it's been, what do you think is responsible for this?
Well, maybe you would say that the stakes were not as high as they were in some of those states that elections were conducted recently. And we also think that one of the things we also observed was that there seemed to have been some form of reluctance of voters, especially in the urban centers of the FCT, to fully participate in the process. And if you compare the turnout with what we had even in the last general elections, the presidential elections here, and the National Assembly elections here in the FCT, we think that a lot of the residents did not consider this election so important, unfortunately. And so not many people came out to participate in the election. So that may also be responsible for why we did not have such a contentious situation as we had in some of the states that we've had elections in the past few months.
Well, you know, it's a weekend of election. Don't forget that Osun State, there was also an election in Osun State which has been declared by INEC as inconclusive. Perhaps we should get one or two views from you so that we can see what the Abuja example is. How can we sustain peaceful elections in other parts of the country as we move on to other elections, especially in the coming one in Edo State?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
I'm asking, how can we sustain peaceful elections in other parts of the country?
Well, I think what we need to emphasize also is voter education. We still think that there is a lot that the political parties need to do in the respective locations to ensure that their supporters, when they go out to participate in the elections, they see this as a regular process in democracy. It's not a do or die. But what we've seen in the recent past in some of the states have been that the key political figures in those areas, their statements have not been such that will engender peace. Rather, they've been able to arouse their supporters into a frenzy whereby the election is seen as a do or die. That shouldn't be the case. And so I actually think that the responsibility for peaceful election lies squarely in the hands of the political parties, because there's an extent to which the electoral, the Independent National Electoral Commission can go if all the stakes are against them in the conduct of elections, even in the most remote areas of the country. It's difficult for them to guarantee the safety of the electoral materials and the personnel. So I think that what we need to do is to ensure that political parties take responsibilities for breakdown of violence, breakdown of law and order when elections are conducted. And indeed, people need to be made to face the consequences of their actions. We really need to see prosecution of violence that are, whether they are election related or not. Every violence should be prosecuted. And so if they happen in the course of the election, they should also be prosecuted, first of all, as violence and as crimes.
Obafanga of Action Aid, many thanks for speaking with us on the News at 10. On the News at 10 returns, Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai flags off construction of $150 million poultry project in the state. Join us again.